it a little bit differently from my phone, so I have to just kind of make sure you guys can see my mat. And I'm not very good at this. I'm getting better, kind of. And we'll start here pretty soon. So I recommend for our class today that you have at least two small blocks, maybe more. And I also recommend some sort of a station, like perhaps a shoulder stand station, which I have 3 big blankets folded to perfection, if you will. The rounded edges are all in one line. And we have that set up here that when we go into shoulder stand, we have just a clean station ready, and we'll go into it when we need that in our class today. But have those things ready. So if you don't have anything like that, go get some towels just from your bathroom and just really fold them real clearly so you have a nice flat. The area should be pretty big so that you can put your elbows behind that or your hands, and so it can't be too narrow. It needs to be pretty wide. Like it's like as wide as my whole body, as long as my whole torso. How's that? Yeah. The width as long as your body, the length as long as your torso. Get that kind of handy for today's class. Those 2 things, a couple blocks. We'll begin real shortly. A couple more technical bits here and we'll be ready. All right. So I'm going to start with sitting on a block. So let's sit on a block of your choice in Virasana. Some of you don't need a block. If you have anything going on with your hips or your lower back, I would recommend sitting quite high. And I'm up on now 2 pillows or 2 blocks in my Virasana. And I'm just going to take a minute to settle into a single position of Samastitihi while sitting on my knees. And as we sit still, take those fine elements of getting more and more developed and mature in your position. We start with the pelvic floor with a little generous lift from the middle passage. There's our Mula Bandha or Muladhara, our root lock is awakened. As we move from the base of the spine upward, we feel a generous lift right at where our trousers arrive on the body, somewhere around the navel center, 3 fingers lower than your navel center, or even 3 fingers higher than your navel center. This whole abdomen draws up. And we have here the navel center, the sound of Ram, your fire. This is where you have your digestion, elimination, kind of your guttural instinct for change. Then we have our heart center here, which is also right on top of the navel and the root lock. And now we have the throat. Notice that there's no stress in the throat. We have the third eye, and we have the crown of the head, but also we have the palate, which is quite important that we feel that there is a generous lifting up through the palate. When we breathe in Ujjayi, we are feeling that as you bring your tongue to the roof of your mouth, that the breath is actually going in behind the mouth, at the back of the throat, and we're breathing in through the spine. Just set your hand at your lower belly, lowest part of the body. You can close your eyes if you'd like, and we'll just chant to that area for a moment. Lam, 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 lam. Sound of lam at the root lock. Lam, 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 lam. Moving up between the space between the navel and the root lock. We chant the sound vam. Vam, 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 vam. Vam, 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 vam. At the navel. Ram, 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 ram. Ram, 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 ram. Sound of ram. And now at the heart, we chant the sound yam. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Hearing the vibration, feeling the vibration, and hearing the sound through your body. Now I go to the throat. And we chant the sound hum. It can be fast or slow as we've been doing. Hum, 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 hum. And now we have the third eye for the sound of Om. And just take your time as you chant your Om 3 times. Om. 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 And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Chant to the goddess Durga for the new moon to plant new seeds for Parinama, change to happen. Om Katyayanaya Vidamahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tano Durgif Prachodayat. One more time if you know it, chant it with me. Om Katyayanaya Vidamahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tano Durgif Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's bring the arms up. Reach up through the fingers. Inhale. We'll stay here a while, just reaching through both sides of your body, finding height and space. Let's hook the thumbs as if we're hanging on to a bar. Claw the fingers up in the air as we lift the scapula high, raising the shoulders to the ears. Keep the fingers as high as you can. And now draw the shoulders down, keeping the height in the arms. Inhale. Now let's look up. Drop the hands back. And now look forward again. Exhale. Arms are still there. Open them apart. Palms parallel to each other. Close your fingers. Reach again and exhale. Forward bend. Slide the hands out. Simply rest your forehead right on the floor. Walking your hands out, finding space and length. The same exercise can happen all the time in your forward bending. Letting the upper back participate with the forward bend by coming forward, and then also drawing the upper back, bracing the scapula down without losing the length you've achieved in the arms. Different than when the arms are in the air, the fingers might be closed. Here they're open and wide. And come up into cat-cow. Take your time. Shoulders brace back as the head continues to move forward. And exhale, tuck your chin. Let's do that 3 times. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Shoulders, meanwhile, don't move. You stay fixed right on top of those hands. Let's do one more. Bring the head out and forward. Don't let the shoulders participate. They go back. It's a huge part of back bending. The spine being independent from the limbs. And exhale, tuck the chin. Roll over your feet or tuck the toes. Inhale, high hips. Stay high with the ball of the foot on the floor. The heels are up in the air. And then exhale, draw your heels down. And breathing for a few long breaths, stretching your down dog, creating space and length. Arms really active, so are the legs, straightening the arms. If neither one of those want to get straight, prioritize your back and bend one of them. So perhaps your limbs, your knees are bent, but the spine is still straight, or the elbows are slightly bent and the spine is straight. And some of you can have everything nice and long and straight. Keep the eyes open as you bring the knees back down. Brace the shoulders back, curl the head forward, inhale. Look down your nose. Exhale, tuck your chin, gaze at your navel. And then sit back down again. Exhale. And keep your head on the floor as you lift your palms and your fingers on the floor. Lift the shoulders away from the floor. And come up, hands to waist. Inhale. Look down at your navel. Tuck your toes under. Keep looking at your navel. Tuck your chin. And walk your hands up your back as you just focus on your thoracic chest, doing the back bend. And then very slowly go down and grab those heels. Keep your chin tucked. Only if it feels comfortable, drop your head back. Ustrasana with variation, focusing only on the upper chest. Keep it as high as you can. Legs are fixed, arms are fixed. And come on up, inhale. Point your toes, sit back down. Exhale. Inhale the arms up. This time palms are together. Close the fingers, look up at the thumb. And exhale, forward bend. Stay a while, reaching the arms away, and then drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Pull the navel off the thighs. Each exhale, you feel Uddiyana Bandha, that diaphragmatic breath supporting your back. Inhale, cat-cow. Exhale, round. Tuck your toes under or roll over your feet. Inhale, high hips. And exhale, heels down. Look at your hands and bring your hands together, your thumbs touching and your pointer fingers touching. Make a triangle on the mat. And let the head move through. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Make your body nice and long. And we have narrow hands, this triangle shape. This helps us with releasing any stress in the shoulder and neck girdle. The elbows can slightly bend. Breathing this out. And look forward again. Change your hands. Middle finger forward. Elbows slightly bend. And exhale again. Roll over the toes or come back to your shin bones. Inhale, cat-cow. Exhale, round and go back into your child's pose, melting your forehead on the ground. Feeling freedom in your hips so that if you rocked side to side, there would be no strain in the hip joint. And come up with your hands to your waist. That might have been plenty of back bend, that last one with your toes tucked under, so do that again. Otherwise, keep the toes pointed, flat feet. Support your upper back. Walk those hands as high as you can. Keep looking down and going back. Keep looking at your navel. And then only if it feels comfortable, the head can go back. Rotate those thighs. And come up, inhale, weight your legs. Catch your waist. And sit down, exhale. You might be warming up more and more. You can release your pads, allowing the sit bones and the hips to go in between the feet. Inhale, arms come up. See your thumb. Do one more like this and exhale, exhale, slide out. That's right, find that length in the arms, but also space between the ears and the shoulders. Inhale, cat-cow. And exhale, round. Roll over the toes if you can by rounding your upper back. Tuck your chin and look at your mula bandha. As you roll over, we lift the hips and stay rounded. High hips, straighten your legs. And exhale, draw the heels down. We'll take out the chin tuck, the drishti at the navel. And just look off the tip of the nose at the toes. My feet are together on this one. You could try having your feet completely together, squeezing your legs together. Or you can even try a wide stance, turning the toes in and having more of a prasarita padottanasana stance with wide legs. Roll the thigh bones in. Pick up the navel. Protect your lower back with an active bandha. And come back to your knees. Fix the shoulders back. Crown of the head participates. Inhale. And tuck your chin. Exhale. Come back up. Inhale, hands to waist. When you choose your back bend, you can also just stay holding your lower back in a nice, easy one. Inhale and exhale. That would be what this would look like. I just have my hands on my waist. I'm looking at my navel. I'm taking a nice Uttanasana, the Camel Pose, Uttanasana. And come up, inhale. And sit down, exhale. Inhale, arms up. Tuck your chin this time. Look at your navel center. Keep reaching the arms behind you with the chin tucked. And forward bend. Exhale, coming into your child's pose. Drop your forehead. Breathing with sound. And listen to the quality of your breath. Make it smooth. Come up to cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale around. Grip your toes on the earth. Try to start to get them excited. So the toes, the feet are flexing as they grip along the floor. You can look at them. Now use your feet, tactile feet, to roll over the toes, high hips. And then with the hips high, the heels high, with one breath, exhale the heels down. Step your left foot forward, all the way to the center of your mat. Drop your back knee. Come up with your hands to waist and notice your knee is right above your ankle bone. Squaring your hips. Your arms can come up now. Inhale. Hook your thumbs if you'd like. Look down. Let's bring the elbows back behind you. Walk that right arm underneath you and grab some fingers. You can go Makasana arms. Stay breathing. Release those arms. Inhale. Arms can come up. Look at your thumbs. Or open your fingers and take a high lift. Exhale. Inhale, come back up. Look forward. And hands down. As you breathe out, exhale. Tuck that back toe under. Lift your back leg and straighten it. Drive the heel away from you. Keeping your heel, you can even look down at it. Look at your back heel and keep your heel above the ball of the foot. Don't let it be in front of it. Definitely not behind it, right on top. Straighten that leg. Lift your head and step that leg back. Inhale, high hips. Exhale, heels down. Step your right foot forward. Exhale, the back knee down. Exhale, exhale, come up. Just get oriented, feeling the right knee on top of the right ankle. Bring the arms up. It's a natural inhale. And slide those arms down the back. So both elbows bend. Then bring the left arm behind you, catch your fingers. Stay looking forward. And then release that, bring the arms up. Maybe look at your thumb. Or open the hands and take a back bend and high lift. Come back up, inhale. Exhale, exhale, hands down. Tuck that back toe under. Lift that leg. Have a look at your back foot. Notice that your back heel is above the ankle bone, above the ball of the foot. Glue that quadricep onto the femur and lift that right leg back. Inhale, collect your feet or separate them. And heels down, exhale. Long breath. And let's bring the hands together. Come onto your elbows, palms together. Interlace the fingers and take your downward dog with your forearms on the floor. Make your spine as long as possible. Let the head hang off the floor as you push back into the heel of the hand. I would close your fingers so the palms are touching. And the heel of the hand, the root of your humerus, the upper arm are grounded, and the ears are in line with your shoulders. Bring your knees down, exhale. Come back to your hands. Inhale, cat-cow. Exhale, flush. Release your forehead. Come up, hands to waist. Taking your back bend of choice. Inhale, go back, Uttanasana. Hold your lower back if you'd like. Or hold your feet, the toes flat or tucked under. Trigonosana, your nose. And come up, inhale. Your head is the last thing. Squeeze your waist and sit down, exhale. One more, kind of like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, tuck your chin. Inhale, reach. Look up. And exhale, forward bend. Time stops. Stay a while. Inhale, cat-cow. Exhale, tuck and round. Grip the earth. Get those toes active by flexing and pointing the feet. Roll over toes, tuck your chin. High hips. And exhale, straighten the legs as the heels come down. Bring your left foot forward. Inhale. And back knee on the floor. Exhale. Point that back toe. This time come up to your waist and slightly tuck your tailbone under just a little bit so that the pelvis is not anterior tilted, It's neutral. Now bend that left leg. Don't participate with it. Take one hand and smooth that skin out while the other hand pulls the navel up. Tailbone should feel like it's going straight down. And bring the arms up. And exhale, drop your head back. Bring the hands behind you, stay here. Inhale. And if you want, you can exhale, back, hanging back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands down. Back foot, back leg bold. Straighten it off the floor. Pick up the left leg. Bring it through your center, high hips. Collect your feet. Exhale. Heels down. Bring the right foot forward. Exhale, the left knee down. Come up, hands to waist. We still have that right knee on top of the right ankle, but now we're going to focus a little bit about stretching that psoas, that left part of the leg. You want to tuck the tail, scoop it under. Now bend that right leg. Bring your hand on the abdomen and one hand on your right femur and move them apart. So the right femur goes away, the abdomen goes up and back. Arms come up. Exhale, look back. Look forward. Stay here or interlace your hands. And as you drop back into a back bend, your knuckles might touch your back leg. And come up, inhale. My favorite one right there. Exhale, hands down. Back toe comes under. Inhale, lift that leg. Look forward. And pull the leg up. Inhale, high hips. Exhale, exhale, heels down. Get comfortable in your down dog. You need to explore lots of different widths. So it's really healthy to have a very round down dog. And not so bad once in a while to have an overextended down dog. Notice the difference. And come forward, knees to the floor. Inhale, cat-cow. And exhale, exhale, child's pose. This time, bring the palms together, elbows together. And as you tuck the head down, slide the head through the arms. And before we leave, we're going to do a little variation from this action. I'm going to take downward dog a different way on the knees. So walk your feet back, stay on your forearms, and bring your hips right above your knees. Walk your hands out and let the spine lengthen in a down dog without letting the hips go past the knees. So the hips are right above the kneecaps, pull the ribs in and hang. Try not to drop the shoulders to the floor. Brace the upper back away from the ground. And top of the head could tuck and be on the floor, but be careful you don't overdo it in your shoulder. This would be a downward dog. Let's say if you had an injury to your foot or a hand injury, wouldn't put much weight on the hands. And come back up. Inhale, cat-cow. And exhale, hands to waist. Last back bend of our Chandrasanas. And exhale, go back. Take your time. Breathing with sound. Feel lightness in the heart. And as you come up, inhale. And exhale, exhale, sit down. Great. Let's make our way to down dog from Vinyasa. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, back to our forward bend. Melt into the floor. Feel heavy. Glorify that exhale breath because it's the new moon. Inhale, come up, cat-cow. Middle finger forward. And exhale, exhale, roll over the toes. or simply lift the hips and exhale, heels down. Now let's bring our feet right in the center of your mat. Notice that the big toes are in between your hands equally. Go ahead and lift that left leg up straight back behind you. Keep the foot flexed. And then tip and twist as you turn the head underneath and look underneath your left shoulder. Straighten that leg. Now you can bend it back if you'd like. Keep your foot flexed. Your heels trying to touch your left bottom. Your buttock. Now straighten that leg back out. Square the hips back down. And let's do the other side. Bring the feet together. They're in the middle of the mat. And simply bring the left leg straight back. Straighten it. And keep the foot nice and flexed. You can even see the toe. Now flex the foot and tip. Look underneath your right arm. Straighten that leg and then maybe bend it. Draw it back away from you, creating space as the foot flexes. It wants to touch your right hip. And this is a perfect psoas stretch, stretching the front of the right thigh. Stretch the leg back out. Square the hips. You're going to rotate the leg so your kneecap faces down. And exhale, bring it down. Good, and then just let's come to the knees for a second. And then if you'd like, I would recommend taking a block and setting it to the outside of your right leg, although you don't have to. I'm going to start with 2 and see what happens. So take your down dog. And let's step your left leg forward right to the outside of your platform of your blocks. Turn your back foot out, wide stance. Take your hand and roll your left leg out. So that extra rotation. And then put your left hand right on top of that platform. Stack your shoulder above that hand. And then tip over for Utthita Trikonasana. Lengthen your spine. Look up at your right hand. Your back foot's turned out. And the more support you feel in your lower arm allows you to spin the torso up. And now bring that back arm behind you. Bring it on top of your left leg. Hold on to that quadricep and roll it out. Look over your right shoulder. Look down and bend that left leg. Change your blocks to the inside. Try not to move the spot of your left foot. Simply put your blocks right on top, and let's lift back up into a Virabidrasana or a partial Konasana. And if you want, you can bring your arm over your head and look at it. Hand at your side, look down, exhale. Stay in Anjaneyasana by releasing your back heel. Now the hips are square. Bring both mat blocks, if you have 2, hands to the floor. And pick up that left leg, high hips. And exhale the heels down. Come to your knees. Let's prepare the right side. So move your pads or your blocks to the side of your right mat. And step your right foot forward. Left foot turns out. My foot's almost at a complete 90 degrees. And heel to arch alignment. Walk those pads back a bit so your hand is practical. Your wrist is right underneath your right shoulder. And start to tip over into your Trigonasana. Feel that rotation of the right leg spinning out, externally rotating, breathing with sound. And then bring the hand back behind you, bring it on top of the right thigh and roll it out. Looking over the left shoulder. It's a wider stance than you're used to in your ashtanga practice. It's nice to mix it up. And look down, exhale, bend that leg. And I have to shorten my stance for my Virabidrasana position. So if you just narrow your foot a little bit, that might be practical. However, the length or the alignment of where it belongs, your heel is still along with the heel of your arch. Move your pads to the inside and take your partial Konasana variation, looking up at your left hand, or the arm can go over your head, you choose. Make your line glorious. Yeah, nice and long. And bring that down. Exhale, high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Move your blocks to the sides. And step back. Inhale, high hips. Exhale, heels down. Now, if you are really wanting to enjoy the Utthita Trikonasana, the revolved, put your back heel on the wall. Step your left foot forward. Now you have something to work upon. I'm going to push from the back foot, line up my hips nice and square, heel to heel alignment. Now move your blocks to the side of your left foot. Your stance is quite long, and try to stay calm as we go into this massive twist. So the hips are going back, the torso is going out, and we simply bring the right arm down and twist. Use your back wall to help you. So your heel is driving into the wall. Straighten that leg and pull the hips back, lift the heart. Bring your upper arm behind you and grab your upper right hip. So now you have a nice bind. Look down at your left foot. Pick up your navel, pick up the wrists, pick up the chest, the ribs, and bring the hand back down. Unravel. Now put your heel on the wall in Anjaneyasana. Aha. So we have the whole leg stamped on the wall. Move your left leg to the side and get your right shoulder right on top of that right hand and spin. Look up at the left hand. I'm trying to get the hips to square and lower. As you drop them, the back leg resists, going with the lowering of the hips. And keep spinning and bring the hands back down. Inhale, lift your high hips up. Exhale, down dog. That's right, turn your left foot out. So just your left foot's at 45 degrees. Your heel is touching the wall. Step your right foot forward. And we're going to go out with the body, back with the back leg. And set up your setup so the block is to the side of the right leg. The left hip is coming forward. Bring the left arm down as the left hip comes forward and spin. The right arm comes up. You should feel stability using the wall. That's what we want here. Stability and freedom for the spine to lengthen away from the back wall. Look down as your right arm maybe goes around, touches your left hip bone. Keep gazing down. And release that. Exhale. Release the back heel into Anjaneyasana. And so much honesty there. The toe is right underneath the heel. We're just deep lunging. Plant that left hand on the ground. Keep the right knee above the right ankle. Use your blocks if needed to get some height and spin. Look up at the right hand. Notice that the higher we lift the chest, the hips want to come with it. Keep the hips low, the chest high. And exhale. Move your blocks out to the side. Walk your hands forward a little bit into downward dog. Walk the feet, toes, ball the toes on the floor, heels high. Exhale, exhale, heels down. Good, breathing with sound. Onto the knees. Exhale, keep your toes tucked under. Squeeze your feet together and just sit back on your heels. So we're just opening up the feet, tuck the tailbone under, hollow your belly, squeeze your knees together, tuck your chin. Trying to get more investigation in the front of the body. come forward. That's great for your Janu Shirshasana to see. And let's do one more cat-cow. Inhale. Exhale. And let's come up really slowly to standing. Just walk to the front of your mat. And forward bend. Uttanasana. And wrap around the backs of your legs. Lift your navel up off of your thighs. Keep moving forward. And bend your knees to come all the way up to standing. Samasthiti. Okay, now I recommend you have the wall near you so you can use this next one. So we're going to take the Chandrasana, the art of Chandrasana, which I did a lot when I was pregnant. So this posture, we're going to bring our left foot, our left body on the wall and our left leg forward like a triangle. We're just going to launch off of it, but we're going to take the blocks and put them in front of your left foot. So they're kind of out in front of you, somewhere in front of your left leg. We're just going to launch off that left leg and bring the right leg up the wall. And then bring your fingertips on top of the block as you gaze up at your right hand. Keep your left foot flexed and find freedom and space up through your limbs. We're trying to get both hips to kind of be glued to the wall. Your whole upper back, everything's leaning on the wall. Now, slightly bend that left leg. Move into Digasana. Reach the arms out in front of you. And breathe with sound as you reach. The limbs, the head is up. Point the back toe. Bring the palms together. And exhale, forward bend. Bend that leg back down. Connect it to its neighbor. And take Uttanasana, forward bend. Come back up. Inhale. And let's try the other side. So if you're using the wall, you have your foot. You want to be able to be going into Digasana from this one. So what sometimes you people call that Virabidrasana 3. So hold on to your platform if you want. And flex that left leg. Get some freedom in the chest as you just completely melt along the wall. Notice your left hip. It wants to stack right on top of the right. You want to get that hip bone, that buttock on the wall. Good, and then look down, exhale, slightly bend that leg, move slightly away from that wall, and inhale into Digasana. Arms and chest and heart high, feet in line with the hands. Look at the palms, and exhale, forward bend. Keep that leg high in the air. Bring it down, nice and slow, forward bend. Exhale, melt. Come up real slow. One more standing pose. Okay, and you can just use your fingertips along the wall if you feel like you might fall. So we'll do the left side first for just 3 poses. Take the left foot and spin it out like a frog. So we're going to flex that foot and turn it out. So we're just rotating the hip and bring the foot nice and high and bring it into Vrishka, the tree. And as you get so straight, bring one arm up in the air. If you're using the wall, fine. Then the other one, and reach the arms up. You can hook the thumbs. And notice again the same rules of the arms are reaching up, but the shoulder blades are going down. Slightly tuck your tailbone as you feel Mula Bandha, the root lock rising, the arch of the right foot rising. Stay. And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Quiet drishti, sama, find one point forward. And release your hands to your waist. Bring the knee forward, straighten it out, and bring it down. Change sides so you can use the wall if you need to. My left fingertips are on the wall. I'm going to bring my right leg out, and I'm just going to practice rotating it like a frog. Just going to kind of take that hip, bend the knee, flex your foot, and rotate the leg. Now bring it into tree posture. It goes as high as you can. Sometimes your knee doesn't go to 90. If it doesn't go to 90, you can work on that and bring the arms up nice and slow. And focus on your samasthiti integrity. Slightly tuck your tail, reach the arms high. One pointed drishti, gaze forward. And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Feeling that root lock, that lam, the root of the pelvis be upward lifting. Bring your hands to your waist, bring that leg out, straighten it and set it down. And then fix your station, fix your setup, and we'll come back to seated postures. Do things a little bit differently today. Okay, now we have 2 moon sequences this month, so if you want a traditional one, you'll have to ask for it. Okay, so we're sitting in Dandasana now. Roll your thighs in and get tall through the spine. Lift the arms straight up in the air. Just get real clear on your straight lines. What is the body? Is it back? Is it posterior tilted? Is it overly doing it with an anterior tilt? Some people, when they lift their arms, their pelvis is still tipped back. If you're in that category, you want to try to get your sit bones so your personal bits face down. That means you might need to tip your pelvis forward with a little pad underneath you. Lift the arms, tuck the chin, hook the thumbs, and exhale, exhale, forward bend. Take any bind you want. You can just hold your shins. You can hold your toes. And focus on the prana, the glorious breath. Inhaling from the tailbone to the crown of the head. As you exhale, keep reaching the arms out, but pull the shoulders back. The crown of the head slides out. Let's try that again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull out of the posture, the upper back going down. Watch what the head does. It slides out. One more. Inhale. And exhale. As the shoulders go back, so does the navel. So do the ribs lift up, the head slides out. Inhale, look up. Find your shin bones. And exhale, 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 lie down. Tucking the chin, tucking the chin. Bring the legs up, nice and easy. Forward bend, really easy. If you need to, bend your knees and just take your knees into your chest. That might be enough. To take a forward bend here, the legs coming all the way over, might be aggressive. If that's too much for you, just breathe your knees in. Bring your knees down, the feet down, and grab your narrowest block. Put it in between your knees, your narrowest one. The feet face forward. Heel the hips up, inhale. Walk the feet out, interlace the hands. Rock side to side. And gaze at your navel center off the tip of the nose. Now lower the chest so you can see your navel. And then pick it back up so you can't. And hold your lower back now if you want. That might be too much for some of you. Keep squeezing those legs. Squeeze that block further. Shoulders away from the ears. Tadaki Mudra, drop your navel. Don't come down. More legs, squeeze them. And release your hands, palms flat. Roll down one vertebra at a time, tucking your tailbone, squeezing the buttocks into the body, and rolling down. The tailbone's the last thing to come to the floor. Bring your knees into your chest. Get rid of that small block. Exhale. Cross your right leg over your left. Exhale. Squeeze the knees in. Unravel. Cross the left leg over the right. Exhale, squeeze the knees in. And loosen that cross. Inhale, roll up. And we'll take Janushirsasana A. The left leg comes in first, nice and wide. And if you need, if your forward bending is still, you're still learning how to forward bend, you have a block handy. So let's pull the right hip back and reach out, holding the shin bone or your foot. Inhale. Then we're going to set that block right on top of the leg if you need it. And exhale, set your forehead right on top of it. If you don't need the block, reach beyond your foot if you want. Keep the chin tucked. Pull your belly up off of the thigh. And let's practice this very important type of forward bend. We're going back with the upper back on an exhale. So your shoulders go away from your foot. Your inhale, you lengthen further out. And the exhale pulls you out of it back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Hold on to that toe or the shin bone with the right hand. And let's twist now. Bring the left arm all the way around and kind of hook it on top of your right thigh. If you're holding on to that toe, now lean back and look over the left shoulder. Keep your navel back, heart high. Look front. Exhale, come out. Let's twist the other way now. First, slide the right hip back. Hold on to your shin or your foot with your left hand. And then your right hand kind of makes its journey very slowly, wiggling around, maybe grabbing the inside of the left leg. Get taller through the crown of your head. Map your body so your crown of your head, shoulders, ribs, pubis are all in one line. Spread your shoulder blades, open up the sternum. Look front and unravel. Bring that left leg in, shed it out, give it a little shake. Roll the thigh bones in, back to Dandasana for a moment. Bring the arms up overhead. Look down. Look forward. Hands come down. Bring your right leg out, Janushirsasana. Right knee wide, slip the left hip back. Orient everything over the left leg. And if you need your prop to help you, exhale, forehead touching. So if your forehead's not touching your leg, you would want to put it on something. Grab a bind. Or if you want to reach past, use your block to reach past your foot and focus on your quality of your breath. Notice how your exhalation is about the back. So we inhale up the front. And as you exhale, you're thinking about your shoulders, upper back drawing down. Inhale, come up nice and slow. And hold on to the shin or the ball of the foot or the toe. And twist around. Look over the right shoulder. Look front. Slip that left leg back. Catch the shin or the toe and twist to the left. Hand going all the way to the inside, maybe of the right thigh. Nice, slow, steady breathing. Lean back, get tall. Breathe the space behind you. Look front. And exhale, come out. Capture your essence of your Dandasana. That's your single position. Now tuck your chin and roll down. Bring your legs up and over. Bend your knees into your chest if you want, or bring them all the way over your head and take a forward bend. Inhale, come back up, nice and slow. And exhale, bend your knees, bring your knees down. This time, take your narrow block and put it in between your feet. So your feet are simply squeezing the block with the big toes right next to that block. So the legs are still active. Instead of squeezing the block, we're now putting it in between the feet. Now draw the shoulders down towards the hips. Make that curve in the chest. Now peel the hips up. Interlace your hands. Rock side to side. Stay here with the palms flat on the floor. Interlaced hands or your lower back. Or take your Urdhva Dhanurasana. Come to the top of your head and stop. And come up if you'd like to back bend. Don't lose your block with your feet. Breathing with sound. And come to the top of your head. If you're a back bend, walk your hands away from your ears. Lift your head and move them to your hands. Tuck your chin. We're back to Setu Bandha Sarvangasana and roll down really slowly, keeping your tailbone off the ground till the very last drop. Move that block out of the way. Bring your knees into your chest. Exhale, hug. Bring the left one over the right. Holding on to the right knee, the right shin. Just give a little hug. Change sides. Head remains on the floor. We're kind of wrapping high, getting the thigh bones to go right on top of each other. And then letting the feet be heavy as we just gently pull that left knee in towards the navel center. Or the left shin bone. We're tricking our hips, getting them a little bit more open. And unravel the legs. Kind of bicycle up or just roll up. Not doing as many seated postures today. So let's open up the legs nice and wide. Nice and wide, and take your hands and roll them out. And now use your blocks in front of you to get your forehead right on top of the blocks. You don't need the blocks. Your forehead goes to the floor. Keep your feet flexed. Grab your shin bones or the sides of your feet and forward bend for Utthita Trikonasana. And keep your breath strong and solid, nice and steady and easy, smooth and even. Spread your shoulders apart. And come up nice and slow. Make your way to the left. Use your prop on top of your leg if you like, and forward bend. Breathing with sound. You can just hold your foot, your ankle, or you can grab your right wrist. And come up, inhale. Exhale, change sides. Now we're orienting everything over the right. We're not simply just going down. We have to actually lift the torso and orient the navel over that right leg. Now go forward. Exhale. Keeping both feet very diligent, flexed, active legs. And our rules of forward bending, we're always keeping the navel up off of the thigh. And we're focusing on the exhalation being a lifting sensation of the pelvic floor and the diaphragm up on the exhale. Inhale, come up. And one more time, go out to the center. First, go the arms up. Look down, and then exhale, tuck your chin as you go all the way over. Forehead on the floor, arms out in front of you. Keep your thumbs hooked, or just flatten your fingers on the ground. Keep your top of your head or your forehead on the floor. And come up nice and slow. Inhale, bring your knees together, and exhale. Squeeze them together. Now take your platform and we're going to start to use it in the back bend a little bit. So the best way to take the vinyasa with this is to set it up with the wall. So I would say you would want to, for our vinyasa, let's do it this way, set it up pretty far from the wall. And we're going to maybe not too far, but a good distance away. And we're going to lie down just like shoulders down on our prop. And we're going to reach the legs out and just the ball of the foot could touch the wall. I think I might be too far. So it's going to take a little bit of figuring out. As you lay on your back, your shoulders are on the edge. The neck is completely off. The back of the head stays on the floor. And you're going to use your legs, maybe at the base of the wall, to first come up into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Rock your shoulders side to side. Oh, wow, that sure feels better. You have a huge back bend in the chest with the hands interlaced. Keep the feet, the legs on the floor bent. Keep those palms nice and tight. And then just one leg up on the wall, maybe. And if it's comfortable, bring two legs on the wall. And press into a nice Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. And I'm just a touch too far from the wall because my heels aren't on the wall, just my toes are. I can still straighten my legs, but I can't get the whole power of my legs. So if you're in that category, come down or just stay where you are. The other option is to do what I'm going to try is bring my toes on the wall, the ball of the foot on the base, and then come up into a glorious back bend with legs straight. This would be equivalent to our Purva Uttanasana or our Setu Bandhasana. If your toes are up the wall and the heels were down. To come out, come back into your back bend with your feet flat. Release your hands, holding your lower back, and roll down nice and slow. So the idea of getting the neck off the floor and taking it from a shoulder stand, we're tricking the body to doing more back bending in the chest and less in the lower back. And let your lower back, your sacrum, come off the blanket, so it's off the edge. Just wiggle side to side. Just give your knees a little hug, keeping your head on the ground. Roll to the side. It's not very fluid, but we don't care. You can leave that there if you want. We're going to use it again. But remember the setup. So mine was too far away, so I'm going to leave it there and just bring it a touch closer. So the next time I do it, we're going to do that one more time. Okay, great. Now, next one, we're going to take our Baddha Konasana, but wide. So make a big diamond shape with your feet. So my feet are quite far away from me. And we're going to come forward with blocks if wanted, if you want to. And just let your forehead come right on your blocks. Exhale. And as we forward bend and kind of round here, it's the opposite of the previous pose. So we're just going to let the knees be heavy. If you feel that in your knees, don't use the prop for your head. Use the props for the sides of your legs. And then come down. Put your leg behind your head a lot. It's really good to do these restorative forward bends with hip opening because you'll appreciate the release of your hips by moving a little bit slower and a little bit supported. Now bring it a little bit closer, one more length. That support felt nice, just keep it there on the outsides of your legs. And come forward again, forehead into feet, exhale. And again, you can use fists, stacking your hands to bring your head on those. So it's really important that the head is down. I listened to Eddie Stern say one time, if the head is supported in a forward bend, the parasympathetic nervous system completely softens. And come up, inhale. Let's take it a little bit narrower. Doesn't have to be fancy. Support your knees if you want. So nice. I'm just going to keep it there for me. And then exhale. Elbows stay inside. Peeling those hip bones apart. Exhale, forward bend. And moving them out of the way. If you have any supports, just take one more, maybe even narrower. Press the hip bones down. And just stay here for 5 breaths, or staying upright, opening up the feet like books, and just staying upright, looking down at your feet. Brace the shoulders down. Gaze off the nose. Focusing on Muladhara and Uddiyana Bandha, the areas of the Lam Vam Ram, the lower spine. And then come forward, exhale. Nice and slow, come back up. And then bring your feet together, bring your knees together. Give them a little squeeze. And then just hug them nice and tight. Bare your eyes and your knees. And reach the legs out. And might need to change the directions if you need to. Exhale, lie down. You can bring your legs over your head if you want, kind of like shoulder stand. Interlace your hands underneath you. Now, bring your hands to your lower back. Come on up into shoulder stand. And then slowly bring your legs down, dangle them. Now, if that's too much for you, don't go up to shoulder stand. Simply start the process like we did before, from the back bend. Peel the hips up. So I invite you to try it from your shoulder stand. No gimme, be ready. You're going to reach the legs up and out towards the wall. You can do it one leg at a time. And if you can't find the wall, find the floor. And coming into your back bend from your shoulder stand. If that feels good, find that wall. Release your hands and find your nice supported back bend with a shoulder stand preparation. Purple shoulder stand. And if your feet are on the floor in Urdhva Dhanurasana feet, your feet are flat with the knees over the ankles and you're squeezing your knees together. Focusing on the upper back thoracic back bend. And come down, bring your legs down, nice and slow, and roll down ever carefully. You should feel absolutely nothing in your lower back, but everything in your upper chest. And if you don't feel that, then we'll work on it, the setup another time. So let's roll over to the side. We've got time to change it if needed. Okay, now we're just moving into the last bit of our class. Let's go into just one more series, one more sequence. And let's bring our feet into the fire log pose. So it's mighty posture here. So let's bring your left foot on top of the right knee. If that's too aggressive for you, stack your feet so that your right foot is on the floor in front of your left knee. Otherwise, go ahead and stack your feet right on top of each other. If you have a niggle or anything painful in your knees, then support it with a prop underneath your knee. And we're just going to flatten the hands right on top. Keep the feet flexed and stay here with a long spine. Opening up those hips out to the side. Keep breathing this out. And just going over towards your right, forward bending. And coming up, let's go to the left. Coming back up to your center for Gomukhasana arms, the left one underneath the right. And reach your arms up and away from you, out in space. Gazing off your right hand. So your fingers are closed, making one long line up and away from you. Lower the elbows down, brace the shoulders down, and exhale, release. And do that position. Bring your knees in, give them a little hug. Bring them right out to Navasana. Bring them back in and change sides. Bring the left one across, the right one on top. And the farther away your feet are from the body, the more intense it'll be. So maybe as a modification, you would have your right foot in front of the left knee on the floor. Both feet would be flexed, taking your forward bend. Otherwise, they stack. Keep breathing with sound. Exhale. Simply keep the spine straight. And we're just crossing the forearms. Breathing into both hip bones, both hip sockets. They get heavy. The femurs get heavy. And going over to the left. Going over to the right. And going back to the center if you want. Come up nice and slow. Inhale. Let's bring the right arm underneath the left. Bring the palms together and reach the arms up in space. Bring the elbows down, shoulders brace down. You're still tall through the crown of your head. And release those hands down. Bring those knees in. Undo. Give a nice little squeeze. Up to Navasana. And exhale, exhale, lie down. Okay, so we'll just do one more curious back bend. This time, you put your feet up on the wall. So stack your 2 blocks on your wall. And you're going to start the process maybe with your platform still. But we're going to put our feet on the wall. So we're going to put our toes up the wall, your feet on the blocks. And I'm going to work this way. And we're going to come up into Urdhva Dhanurasana with some support to start. And you might not need the support for long, but we'll see how we get on. With the toes up the wall, feet on top of the blocks, narrow, narrow, narrow feet. Inhale, peel the hips up, interlace the arms. And we're just feeling more investment in the chest here. Keep the legs active, the inner thighs falling. And that could be it. This could be enough. If you like, you come up into your back bend from here. If you're not using the prop, you don't need it maybe. Maybe that's just for some people that need a little bit more in the chest. Otherwise, come on up. Your final Urdhva Dhanurasana. Inhale, come to the top of your head. Exhale here. Knees touch the wall. Elbows squeeze in, shoulders back. Inhale, come up. And if the kneecaps touch the wall, that's your invitation to walk in and then move the kneecaps off the wall. If you lift your head and do anything different with your head, make sure it's supported with a high chest. If the knees touch the wall, you've gone too far into the legs. Move away from the wall into the arms. So they're equal. Do one more on your own. If your knees touch, walk your hands in, move them away. And come down at your own pace, nice and slow. Move your head to your hands, tuck it. And exhale, exhale, roll down. Just bring your arms out to the side, palms face up. And then just let your knees roll to the right. And bring them back up. Roll them to the left. And bring them back up. And bring them right in to your chest. Exhale. Again, let's cross the left leg over the right. Give a little hug, holding onto the right shin. I kind of prefer holding over the top of the legs rather than underneath that right leg. You can play with both. See which one works better for you with your arms. And then undo to the other side. And if you're just always used to doing it underneath, try something different. Soft breath. And now exhale. And just roll to your side because we're on the wall. Let's just come up to cat cow, into down dog. And downward dog. And come to your knees, exhale. Okay, so the last part of our class today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be taking headstand with a bunch of different variations. So if this is new for you, you're going to use the wall. Okay, so if you're very comfortable with headstand, you don't think you're going to fall, then you can do it in the middle of the room. Otherwise, move yourself to the wall and get set up. To prepare yourself for your headstand, we're going to roll the shoulders back and keep the shoulders bracing over the elbows. When we come into headstand, like all asana principles, the body part, the spine does not participate in what the limbs are doing. So as we bring the head on the floor with open hands or closed hands, you choose, the shoulders brace back. They don't participate in the coming of the head down. As the head touches of the floor, the shoulders brace back, and we simply find the first position, building strength and quality in the shoulders by keeping them away from the ears. And then you can come up, float up, kick up, step up, and just take your headstand nice and slow. Now, the importance about building your headstand stamina is Mula Bandha, or root lock. So the perineum turns on, the legs squeeze together. We'll just build some stability here. Be quiet in your mind, keep the feet together, and just simply draw the feet down into Baddha Konasana. You can even use the wall behind you to slide the legs down. And just stay breathing. Now keep the right foot there, extend the left leg out. Keep it nice and flexed like a frog. Bring it back in, touch the right foot, set the right leg out. And bring the foot back in. Baddha Konasana. Shoot the legs back up. And cross the right leg over the left, hooking them in Viradasana. Keep the feet flexed, squeeze the knees in. Tailbone might be behind you. Straighten the legs out, squeeze the legs together, point your toes. Left one, bring the left one over the right, hook the feet behind the leg, flex both feet, especially the right foot up in the air. And bring the legs back out. And bring the left one down in front of you. Bring it out to the left. Bring it back to the front. Bring it back up. Bring the right leg down. Bring the right leg to the side. Bring it back to the front. Bring it back up. One more. Reach legs way out to the side plane. Both of them widen as wide as you can. And just stay with wide legs. Nice and wide. Flex your feet and point them. Flex them and point them. Bring the legs back up. Squeeze the legs together. Point the toes. Bring the knees down to the chest. And lower them all the way down, keeping the knees at the chest, straightening the legs and lower. Sinking back into child's pose. Drop your forehead on the ground. Really important when we do headstand variations like that, you protect your neck. So if you feel it in your neck, please keep your forehead just down on the floor. We'll be here for a good 2 minutes. Just enough to hear 6 Yoga Sutras. Hatha Yoga Nishasanam Yogaschitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drashtu Swarupe Vastanam Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra Vrittayaha Panchatayaha Krishta Krishtaha Pramana Vipariyaya Vikalpa Nitra Smridayaha And sit up nice and slow. Sit back on your heels, back in your sit bones, and just take final breathing, any position you'd like. If you want to do it reclined, that's a great idea. Or if you want to do it sitting up, that's fine too. It's just going to take some alternate nostril breathing into rest. So if you're doing it lying down, you could have your back supported by your wall, your head on a pillow. And if you're on your back, doing it that way, I realize this is a better view. Sorry, everybody. Your head will be on top of something. And you can take legs up the wall. You can even take legs out to the side. You can take Padmasana or Sukhasana. And then from here, you can just take your rest and recovery. Let's take the left hand and bring the thumb to the ring finger and just set that in your abdomen if you're lying down, or you just set that in front of you if you're sitting up. Let the eyes slightly close. They can completely close altogether, or you can just gaze with lazy eyelids, half closed off the tip of the nose. Bring your right hand to your nostril. We're going to take a series of breaths out each nostril. Let's begin with the left 5 times. Inhale, left. Close. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. Last one like that. Inhale, left. Exhale, left. Close the left nostril. Inhale, right. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, right. 3. Inhale, right. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale right. Last one like that. Inhale right. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Close right. Inhale left. Out the right. Close right. Inhale left. Out the right. Inhale left. Out the right. Close right. Last one of this pattern. Inhale left. Out the right. Now 5 more starting right, out left. Inhale right. Out the left. Inhale right. Out the left. Inhale right. Out left. Inhale right. Out left. Last one. Inhale right. Out the left. Right hand down. And set the palms in the lap. Natural breathing. Eyes closed. And when you've had enough stillness in that position, just make your way onto your resting posture for your Shavasana. And turn off your lights, cover your eyes. Take your Shavasana. Put a timer on if you need to, so that you take a good 7 minutes. We'll see you all very soon. Thank you for joining me. Happy Moon Day. Namaste. Om Gananam Kavim Kavinamupamashvavastanam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Ana Shrinramuti Bisida Sadhanam Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shanti. Peace to myself. Shanti. Peace to you and those around us. Shanti. Peace to the unknown, and may all that comes our way be peaceful.